Welcome back to another episode of 48 Hours. This time we had a weekend in the Lake District and I'm excited to show you everything we got up to with just 2 days to enjoy the area. We were camping near Keswick in Thornthwaite and we drove up after work on Friday, so you're joining us on Saturday morning on our way over to Buttermere for a day of bagging Wainwrights and wild swimming. We stopped off at the co-op in Keswick to pick up a good amount of food for the day. We knew we were going to be walking for 5 to 6 hours and we're hungry humans, so we made sure that we had plenty of snacks to keep us going, as well as a slightly rogue choice of sandwiches which were on offer in the shop. Even though it was a really sunny morning, I packed waterproof trousers and a jacket into my bag just in case the weather turned, along with a compass, a whistle, a survival bag, a map and a big bottle of water for the day. I did actually end up needing some of this kit, so it's always worth carrying it with you just in case. Once our bags were all packed up, we did some reading up on the route we had chosen from peat bagging Wainwrights. Haystacks had been on our list of walks we wanted to do in the Lake District for a while, so when we saw that it was part of Route 39, we knew we wanted to do it the next time we had a spare couple of days to get over to the area. Peat bagging Wainwrights shows you how to complete all 214 Wainwrights in just 45 routes, and each route has what 3 words, parking advice, and downloadable GPX files so that you can navigate using your phone or watch. Each walk has custom timings for walkers, trekkers, fast packers and trail runners, and today we put them to the test, keeping track of our time as we reach the 4 Wainwrights included in this route. We reached our first Wainwright of the day at 1 hour 17 minutes, which was surprisingly just under the trekkers' timings, so we celebrated with a snack before heading over to Greynots and Brandreth, which we bagged at approximately 2 hours 40, although our navigation on this was a little bit patchy, so take that with a pinch of salt. This aligned with the custom timings for walkers in the book. After another snack of some shared hula hoops and some surprisingly good sandwiches, we headed in the direction of our 4th and final Wainwright of the walk, Haystacks. The weather did turn on us at this point, so I was really grateful to have my waterproof packed in the bag. Haystacks was described by Wainwright as having the best fell top of all, and we reached it at 4 hours and 7 minutes between the walker and trekker pace. The views of Buttermere were amazing, and the rain stopped as we descended back into the valley, which was perfect for our next bit of weekend adventure, a swim in the lake. There are 5 different launch points around Buttermere featured in Swimming Wild in the Lake District. From the 1st of April to the 30th of June, the National Trust closes a section of the northern shore to protect nesting sandpipers, so if you're planning a point-to-point swim, be aware of your exit point at this time of the year. We chose to swim from Crag Wood, a narrow spit of slate where it only takes a few steps before you can float out over the deepest part of the lake. Putting our heads under the water, it was so clear you could see the drop-off point, which was really cool. Crammed into a relatively small valley, Buttermere is just over a mile long and described by Susanna as a real treat, a 4-finger Kit Kat swim. Wild swimming in the Lake District is full of useful tips for both new and experienced swimmers, with all the practical information you need to plan a wild swim. We've seen osprey here before, and I was gutted that when I nipped off to get a couple of ice creams, I returned to hear that an osprey had been seen in my absence, so keep your eye out for these incredible birds of prey when you're in the area. With tired legs after a jam-packed day, we popped into Booths in Keswick on the way back to our tent to pick up ingredients to cook a recipe from Lake District local Fell Foodies cookout. We only have one cooking stove when we go camping, so we chose a recipe from the one-pot section of the book, picking the cabbage and butternut squash sabzi. We found all the ingredients we need, and even found a pre-cut soup mix of the butternut squash and onions, which saved us loads of time back at the tent. Frying off the garlic and onions in the spices before adding the cabbage and squash, we then simmered it in vegetable stock for about 10 minutes. We felt very fancy adding a squeeze of lime and fresh coriander, and it was probably the poshest post-hike food we have eaten next to our tent, but it was super quick and easy to cook. Our second and final day in the Lake District called for a slightly easier walk as our muscles were a bit tired from the scrambles of our peak-bagging Wainwrights mission. We decided to do the first route from Mountain Walks Helvellyn, written by local mountain leader Tina Codling. It was a grey and cloudy day with a fair bit of rain forecast, so this low-level walk was the perfect choice. Following the edge of Ullswater, you get great views of the lake over towards Place Fell. We downloaded the GPX file for the route and followed the directions on a phone. Every route has custom mapping and safety information, as well as recommendations on the best places to eat, the best time of year to walk it, and points of interest. This walk ends at Aira Force car park, where we chose to extend the walk and visit the dramatic waterfalls created by the Howards of Greystoke. You can then hop on the bus or one of the boat services and return to the start point, but we decided to retrace our steps on foot as we still had some energy left. It was then time to pack up and return to our home to start the working week again on Monday, but we hope you've enjoyed this snapshot of what we did in 48 hours in the Lake District. Let us know your favourite way to make the most of a day or two's adventure.